to a drug overdose. And an Oklahoma community is reeling after a crash claims the lives of young athletes and coaches. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, a local mother speaks out after the sentencing of two people connected to her son's death. How she's fighting to prevent other families from experiencing the same heartbreak. Plus, drivers on K7 might find their trips delayed due to a road improvement project. And the city of Joplin hosts a public meeting on recycling education.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A sentencing in southeast Kansas comes as drug overdose rates are on the rise in the Sunflower State. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Samantha Walker spoke to the mother of an overdose victim who says awareness is an important part of prevention.
According to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, more than 700 people lost their lives to a drug overdose in 2022, with more than 67% of those deaths attributed to opioids such as fentanyl. This week, 2 people were sentenced for their roles distributing fentanyl, which resulted in the death of a Frontenac teen.
This is ending in the criminal part of this. I feel like another little piece of him is gone. You know, like this has not really kept him alive in my heart, but it's kept it real, and I don't want people to forget him.
Cooper Campiti was 18 years old when he died as a result of a fentanyl overdose in April 2023. Cooper's family continues sharing their story about the dangers of the opioid, speaking at schools and town halls across the 4 states.
And share Cooper's story, and a lot of the feedback that we hear is they had no idea about fentanyl and about how it gets into the drugs.
She says the prosecution of fentanyl cases like the one involving Cooper is important, but she adds awareness is what's needed to help prevent more tragedies like this in Crawford County.
What you're getting yourself into when you take something from the street that's not coming from a prescribed pill jar from a pharmacy and from your doctor. It can be in anything. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Cooper took half a pill.
Those struggling are encouraged to ask for help. You can seek help at the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration helpline by calling the number on your screen. Reporting in Crawford County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Crawford County attorney indicated in a release that fentanyl cases are increasing in the county. They say their office will continue to prosecute these cases in an effort to combat the distribution of the opioid in the county. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signs Laura and Ashley's law, strengthening sentencing requirements for certain crimes in the Sooner State. Beginning on November 1st, crimes of accessory to murder and accessory to murder in the second degree will be added to the list of felony offenses, requiring criminals to serve at least 85% of their sentence. The law is named after 2 girls, Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman, who went missing in December of 1999. Ashley's parents were found murdered in their burned home. Decades later, the cold case finally centered on 3 suspects, but 2 of them had already died. The 3rd suspect, Ronnie Busick, eventually agreed to a plea deal in 2020, pleading guilty to accessory to murder, kidnapping, and arson. However, in 2023, Busick was released early from prison due to good behavior. Going forward, Laura and Ashley's law ensures those who aid in such heinous crimes face stricter consequences, something Laura's mother, Lorene, pushed for years.
Is so that our family, it won't help us, but the next family that holds somebody accountable for accessory to murder will be kept in jail.
Lorene Bible worked with State Representative Steve Bayshore to file that bill. She's been part of the investigation since day one, and still hopes to one day find the bodies of both her daughter and Ashley Freeman. Quapaw community members today participated in a walk for families of missing or murdered Indigenous persons. The gathering aimed to honor victims and give grieving families a chance to share their stories in hopes of finding healing and answers about missing loved ones.
You don't know whether law enforcement has that information or not, because the person that's actually started working that case, if it's a couple of years old, the investigator may no longer be with that agency. So if they moved on to a different agency or retired or whatever, that information may not be readily available to the person that's now working the case. So if you have information, be sure and share that with the local law enforcement agency.
Relatives of lost loved ones say they appreciate the support of the community. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
Well, we had a couple little light showers push through late afternoon into the evening hours. Most of the evening has been pretty quiet, but we are now, this is all ground clutter on the Missouri side, but starting to see showers picking back up again. And that's what we're going to see as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. Bands of showers, couple rumbles of thunder, but nothing too strong or severe, but periods of showers pushing through. Here's 6:30 in the morning. Let's go through the morning hours. Scattered showers, some thunderstorms, so some heavier pockets of rain. Temperatures mainly sitting into the mid 60s, and we just keep seeing periods of showers, even a few thunderstorms popping up again. Here's 5 p.m., 6 p.m. into the evening hours. Today, not bad, 72. Average high is 74 degrees. Looking outside right now, we're sitting into lower 60s. We'll look at those rain chances here in a bit.
Catch you soon. Goodman city officials met tonight to consider a replacement for the open South Ward alderman seat, a position left unfilled after the April election. Voters picked Clay Sexton for the job at the time, but he was also elected mayor and chose that position instead. We're told none of Sexton's nominees chose to fill the role tonight, so as it stands, the position is still unfilled.
You kind of want to have all 4 seats done. That way, if there's ends up being ties, the mayor can then break ties. But it will stay vacant until we can find someone that the council will support to go into that position. And with us only having 3 people, it can sometimes, take a few tries.
During the meeting, the mayor named Barry Ruddock as a potential nominee, but city officials never seconded it. Some drivers on K7 south of Girard might be seeing some delays ahead. KDOT has begun a new road improvement project on that stretch of road. The project, which includes a mill and overlay, is to repair damage to the road. While KDOT says to expect delays of up to 15 minutes, a spokesperson asks drivers for patience.
The idea is to get to the road and do a action that preserves that roadway surface and the surface below it, which you don't see, and then that's the base.
The 25.6 mile resurfacing project began last month on K3 and K7 highways in Bourbon and Crawford counties. Work on K7 will run from the south city limits of Girard south to US 400. City of Joplin hosts a recycling education and outreach open house at the Joplin Public Library. The event invited residents to share feedback on obstacles to recycling, as well as ideas to improve community education.
We take cardboard, brown packing paper, they go together, papers, notebooks, phone books. We take e-waste, all your electronics, TVs, about anything with a cord we'll take, paperboard like your cereal boxes and things like that, and glass, which is 100% recyclable.
City officials say today's input will help shape a plan to boost recycling awareness across the region. The goal is to identify challenges and enhance outreach efforts for the future. The Lions and Gorillas warm up their bats ahead of an NCAA softball tournament. John Dales has a preview coming up in sports, but up first, communities in mourning after a car crash in Kansas takes the lives of high school students and their coaches. The Tulsa, Oklahoma community is mourning the loss of 2 students and 2 travel basketball coaches. This comes after a head-on collision in Kansas Sunday night just after leaving a tournament. 8 people in total died and 1 was injured. Tanya Matursitsky has more.
They just began life, just starting to experience, situations. But this one is more of, hitting home because this is their friend, their teammate, a coach they, coaches that they, dealt with. And there are no words to comfort them because it's unexpected.
So many lives gone too soon.
Couldn't even stomach that.
The news devastating families and the Tulsa community Sunday night when when news reports began to circulate saying 8 people died and 1 was injured in a head-on collision in Kansas off US 169. Kansas Highway Patrol confirming the deaths, 4 of those being kids and coaches from Tulsa who were leaving a basketball tournament heading back home. A family member tells News Channel 8 that crash claimed the lives of Union 9th grader Kyron Schrumpert, his father and travel basketball coach Jamon Gilstrap, Booker T. Washington freshman Donald Laster, and travel basketball coach Wayne Walls. Right now, Walls' son is the only survivor.
DJ, he was just an amazing kid, like just the brightest smile, like always happy to see any and everybody. One hell of an athlete, basketball, track, like it was in him.
And this is the last picture that the 4 of them took right before they left the tournament, celebrating their wins for the weekend.
Every kid was his kid.
In a statement from Union Superintendent John Federline, on behalf of the entire Union Public Schools community, I extend our deepest condolences to the students' family, friends, and loved ones.
A little later, a mother makes a not-so-sweet discovery, finds it piled up on her porch.
And rain increasing over the next 2 days. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, it turned out to be a nice Tuesday for us today. Had a little bit of sunshine during the morning hours, but we did get some clouds, a few scattered showers late this afternoon into the evening hours. Most of the evening has been dry, but you can see scattered light showers. This is just green on the radar, so scattered light showers kind of popping up over the past couple hours. Again, not a big deal, but they're going to be out there for us tonight due to our upper level low. You can see the twist or the counterclockwise spin, and that's why we have this calm shape all the way down to southern parts of Texas. So this is a slow mover. It's going to be on top of us as we go through the next couple days. So rain chances going up for us tonight, back down a little bit in the morning, and then sneak up again, especially tomorrow afternoon and then into tomorrow evening. So let me take you through time. A lot of green out there. Hit and miss showers sticking around tonight. Here's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then hit and miss showers continue by the time you wake up in the morning if you're getting up at 6 or 6:30. Showers, even some thunderstorms, not severe, but some rumbles of thunder, especially along and north of I-44. And where you see the yellows, oranges, and red, that's moderate to heavy rain. So we are going to have some heavier pockets across the area. Let's go into late afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Scattered thunderstorms continuing to work through. You can see this kind of overall twist in the radar and the motion, and that's going to show us that area of low pressure kind of working by. So here's 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. We get on the backside of this area of low pressure on Thursday, but it still spins in these hit and miss showers throughout the day. Here's the noon hour on Thursday. Let me take you to Thursday evening. Still a few hit and miss showers. Then everything rotates out Thursday night. So the next 2 days, we're going to have on and off rain. More widespread on Thursday or on Wednesday compared to Thursday. How much rain could we get? A lot of areas, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. There's going to be some 1.5 inch amounts out there. I don't think it's going to come down heavy enough to cause a lot of flooding issues, even though the ground is very saturated. Most of this rain is not going to be super heavy, which is good news on that factor. Looking outside, nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Temperatures sitting into lower 60s right now. Your day planner on your Wednesday, 58 in the morning, 61 by noon. Let's go with a high temp of 67 degrees. So here's this storm system. And because it's cut off from the main flow of the jet, which is way up in Canada, this has suppressed a lot of severe weather this entire week, which is great because it's May. But that jet stream starts to dip back toward the south as we get into next week, especially the second half of next week. So that's when some bigger threats for severe weather will start to return across the region. But if we can eliminate 10 to 12 days in the month of May of no big severe weather, that is always good news. 67s the next few days. We do dry out and clear out for the weekend, so second weekend in a row, we get a really nice one.
Yeah, we'll take that. That sounds pretty good. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, a Pitt State baseball player was named MIAA Pitcher of the Year, and the Gorilla and Lion softball teams both prepare for the NCAA tournament. We're going to hear from them up next in sports.
Yesterday, Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State softball both hear their names get called for the NCAA tournament, and today the Lions are getting some final practices in before making the trip down to Southern Arkansas for the regional.
We've worked hard for it all season to just keep going, playing as long as we can. I think it's just fun. This time of the year is fun just to be playing this late in the season.
Finally feel like the work just paid off. It was just a sigh of relief. We knew we were going to get there, but we couldn't wait just to see our name been out there.
Camaraderie is top notch. It's a player-led team. They support one another, and they'll go balls to the wall out here on the field for each other, and that's what it takes. And they're all in for each other.
Of course, the Lions, not our only local team participating in the 2025 NCAA tournament. Pittsburgh State is the 5 seed and will play in the regional quad held at Central Oklahoma. PSU has some experienced players who have been in this position before and know what it takes to win games in the postseason.
It takes grit, and you have to be really tough, and you have to be mentally tough, physically tough, battle tested, and I'm really excited because I think that we really are, and I think that this will be a lot of fun.
Our team bonding, the way that we gel has gotten so much better. We're super comfortable. These are my best friends, and I think they would say the same thing for everyone else on the team. And honestly, that's why we've gotten so much better, is because we just play for each other.
The college baseball season is about a week behind softball, so Pitt State and Missouri Southern baseball, both of them are getting ready for the MIAA tournament, which is scheduled to start tomorrow. The Gorillas have put themselves in a position where a successful conference tournament run could lead to hosting an NCAA regional next week.
Yeah, this is kind of what you play for. You show up in August to have a chance to make it to the conference tournament, to make it to a regional and those things. But, it's exciting to have those opportunities. We've set ourselves up to have a chance. Different format. It'll be interesting to see how this goes, single elimination and everything. So you got to go out and play your best baseball 3 days in a row. If you do that, you got an opportunity to move on.
I mean, it's a pretty cool award, but I just think it's more important just as a team how we've been playing. I think we've had a really special year, and we just want to continue to make history here at Pittsburgh State.
Next guy up, pitch the ball, throw strikes, and play our brand of baseball. So that's what we're looking forward to doing here in the postseason with the new season coming. Anybody can get hot at the right time and get going to carry, so that's what we're looking to do.
You heard Colby Dugan mention getting an award. That's because he gets named MIAA Pitcher of the Year this afternoon, in addition to being a first-team All-Conference honoree, and he's joined in the first-team All-MIAA by his teammates Maddox Thornton, Dagan Brewer, Alex Rogers, and Drew Bugner. Rogers is on the Gold Glove team as well, along with Sanchez and a couple of Missouri Southern Lions, too. Braden Lukart, Drew Townsend, who from Missouri Southern is our only local honoree in the second-team All-Conference. Then, third team, 3 more Gorillas, Tanner Leslie, Ricky Sanchez, and Hayden Dyer, and 3 more from Southern, Ethan Clark, Braden Lukart, Jacob Phillip. Conference tournament gets started with the first round tomorrow. It'll take place in both Pittsburgh and Joplin through Saturday. In Major League Baseball, Cardinals win today, Royals win today. For the Royals, that's 13 wins in their last 15 games now.
What are they putting in the water in
I don't
Kansas
know
City?
what it is, but it's working.
Let's hope it continues. We'll be right back. Okay, so imagine opening your front door to find dozens of cases of Dum Dum lollipops. It's exactly what happened to a woman in Lexington, Kentucky. Her young son ordered 70,000 suckers on Amazon. As Amber Philpott reports, the mother had a tough time getting her money back.
A massive Dum Dum drop at Holly LaFavor's front door via Amazon. 70,000 suckers on the porch. LaFavor says her son made the purchase on her Amazon app. She says she tried to stop the order before it came to her house, but it was too late. And then she checked her bank account.
I just panicked, and then when I saw what the number was, I just about fainted.
She's is on the hook for more than $4,000. The order was so large, she's had to put some of it in her garage.
This was just a fluke thing that happened.
LaFavor says her 8-year-old son Liam got her phone and made the purchase of 30 cases of suckers. Liam has developmental delays and was born with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. She says the condition affects his decision making.
He told me that he wanted to have a carnival, and he was ordering the Dum-Dums as prizes for his carnival. So, you know, again, he was being friendly, he was being kind to his friends.
To make matters worse, she says 8 of the 30 cases were unaccounted for. She had to go to the post office to rectify the situation.
The packages that were, the 8 that are missing were actually scanned in here as being rejected.
LaFavor says those 8 cases were returned to sender, and she hopes she can at least get that portion of her money back.
This is Holly LaFavors. How are you?
She says Amazon delivered the other 22 cases. LaFavors had trouble getting in contact with Amazon for a refund, but we were able to help her make a connection.
I was told that you might be able to assist me with the issue that I'm having with Amazon.
Amazon took her information and said they'd look into her claim.
Oh, I am so appreciative of the help.
For now, she has cases of sucker she doesn't want, but her favorite flavor, blue raspberry, is inside. Any thoughts on taking just one?
No. I know how expensive that box is, and I am not tempted to crack it open.
LaFavors did finally get her $4,000 refunded. She says she's going to change some settings on her phone just to make sure this doesn't happen again.
You know, the CG on the bottom said Kentucky kid accidentally orders. I think the kid just knows what he likes.
Yeah, it didn't sound exactly like an accident.
He's like,
he was planning a carnival.
2 cart, 2 cart, 2 cart, 2 cart.
Yes, indeed.
All right, scattered showers sticking around the next couple days, even a few thunderstorms.
Final sports note.
MIAA baseball tournament starts tomorrow. Missouri Southern plays at 1.
Looking forward to that. The morning show, it starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.